This is your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I know it's a late one, but January 20th is now just a few days away. And with Joe Biden gaining the presidential power, what exactly can the American people expect? What's going on, you guys? We're back with another video. And in this one, I'm actually not going to just talk about stimulus package updates, but I'm also going to talk about the plans and the executive orders for Joe Biden's first day in the office. Also, we're going to touch on what the Democrats want to provide to the American citizens. Now, that would actually include, of course, the stimulus plan. And, let me tell you, he's really pushing for this bill to pass. And although a lot of progressives aren't exactly delighted with the inclusions on the stimulus package, we have to question, what could be waiting for us all if this bill isn't passed any sooner. And for those of you guys who are receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, don't worry. I've been reading your comments. A lot of you guys have been asking about this $200, boost on the Social Security. I'm going to touch on that. So don't worry, I'm not ignoring you guys. I got love for you guys too. And, I feel like, I have to share all of this stuff with you guys because it's actually going to concern everyone in this country. And when I say everybody, including me, including you, who's watching this. So, make sure you stay with me until the end of this video. I'm going to cover all of that right here in this video. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and tap the subscribe button, join the family, join the community, and also be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you know as soon as I release new videos and content like this. And also don't forget to check out the All New Matter channel. We have partnered with them and they have amazing content. And they're also doing an incredible giveaway right now. We're going to be picking 5 winners. 5 winners will be chosen. So definitely stick around and I'll give more details on this giveaway later in this video. So guys, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's inauguration will take place in just a couple of days from now. And, it's been said that on Biden's first day in the Oval Office, he is going to be signing multiple executive orders. Now, the information that we got for you guys has come from Ron Klain himself. He stated that these orders would include orders to extend the pause on the federal student loan payments and the interest, orders that would extend the ban on evictions and foreclosures. He's also going to sign orders to return the U.S. back to the Paris Climate Agreement and reverse President Trump's travel ban on some Muslim majority nations. And he also aims to submit a very broad immigration proposal to Congress. He's also going to do an executive order to require masks to be worn on all federal properties as well as for interstate travel and, things like that. So that's pretty much what we know so far about what Joe Biden's going to be doing for his first day as president. And, again, according to Ron Klain, this is the information source that I'm getting this from. Now, as for the mask part, I don't know how he's going to kind of enforce that. I mean, maybe he could kind of like coordinate with some of the governors, throughout the country. Because, after all, he's only technically legally permitted to be able to require, masks within federal properties only. So, he can't really tell people what to do on state land or state properties. And so other than that, that's well within the reach of the governors, of each state to decide. Probably he's probably going to have to coordinate with every governor out there if that actually happens. This is kind of a rumor, but, it's kind of coming from a credible source. And everything that I just mentioned just now, he plans to do all of that on day 1, which is January 20th alone. I don't know about you guys, but normally when you start a brand new job, you don't really do anything on day 1. It's like training, if anything, but you just kind of sit around. But Joe Biden's first day looks like it's going to be pretty busy. And it doesn't stop there. He actually said that he aims to do a lot more. He's slated to sign multiple executive orders over the first 10 days of him being in the office. Now, do I believe that he's actually going to do all of that? Well, I mean, it's not impossible. It definitely could happen. And, like I said, this is all coming from Ron Klain. He said that on top of all of these, the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan also remains his topmost priority. So there's a lot of executive orders that look like, may actually be signed and passed. You've got stimulus, you've got a huge stimulus plan. I don't even want to kind of like gloss over that. This is huge. And now as to exactly, how much stimulus would they give and, what they want to provide to the American people, here's what we know. So, an estimated amount of roughly $1 trillion is supposed to be going toward the direct payments. That's how much that they said they want to provide to the American people. Now, this would actually include the additional $400 per week for an additional 28 weeks. This actually goes on top of the unemployment insurance benefits at the state level. And then also you've got the larger tax credits for children. And also, like I mentioned in my previous videos, if you have children ages 5 years and under, you would actually get $3,600 for each one of them. And if your kids are between the ages of 6 and 17 years old, then you would get $3,000 per child, So this is pretty much what we can expect to receive. And we also have additional rental assistance, which is really good, and for good measure, of course, you've got the $1,400 stimulus check amendment. So, I mean, for families who have children, I think some people are going to be potentially cashing some really big checks. Now, I don't want to hype everyone up too much, but all this sounds great. But I could see how this could help a lot of struggling Americans. But some progressives and many of you guys in the comments have said, I read your comments, you're still not convinced about the wholesomeness of President-elect Joe Biden's plan. And, basically, now what they're saying is that Joe Biden, our country's next president, he essentially tricked the American people, and, you might be asking, well, how exactly did this happen? So according to them, to get into the Oval Office, he asked people to vote Democratic in Georgia. Remember the Georgia runoff elections a couple weeks back? Remember how much of a big deal it was? And then everyone came out, hey, if you support the $2,000 stimulus checks, or if you vote Democratic, if you want $2,000 stimulus checks, that's the best chance at actually getting them, because essentially the Democrats were the biggest proponent for them. So anyway, he asked people to vote Democratic in Georgia because if they did, $2,000 worth of relief in the form of stimulus payments would be distributed to the citizens. Now, drop me a comment down below if you guys remember that. Now, the question is, did he just do that to secure his win alongside with the Democrats? A plan of finding the loopholes within his statements so that, he wouldn't have to deliver them? I mean, because this is what the progressives are asking, Two of the most vocal progressives that we have are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib. And they're saying that he promised $2,000 stimulus checks, not the $1,400 stimulus check that was recently announced. And so, while the $600 plus $1,400 in stimulus checks would amount to $2,000 in total, according to them, they're saying that, he owes the American people $2,000, not this kind of like watered down, makeshift $2,000 collective stimulus check. So they're calling him out because, he has to make this right. And, this is coming straight from these progressives, AOC and Rashida Tlaib. So, what they're saying is, technically speaking, he did make a promise that as long as you vote Democratic, you would get $2,000 stimulus payments. So, I can't blame anyone who might be mad about this. I totally get it. I can see both perspectives, but, like I said, I totally get it. So I would love to read you guys' thoughts on this issue. Drop me a comment down below. Do you guys think that, Biden did all of this on purpose? Where he promised one thing and then search for loopholes, which would, serve as his escape, once he gets what he wants, which was for him to win, for he and the Democrats to win the election? Or do you think that the progressives are pretty much overanalyzing things and that there's no trickery actually involved, just a case of miscommunication? I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And and I promise you guys, like when I give updates, don't I give updates? Like give me some love, hit the like button if you haven't already. But there's another thing, guys. During his campaign, I don't know if you guys know, I don't know if you guys remember this one, but Biden mentioned that he would actually provide a $200 per month boost for people who are on Social Security. Now, I didn't make this up. I actually shared the document. You can look through one of my previous videos where I actually went through line by line through his Biden financial or economic plan or whatever. It was literally in the plan, but I tried to search for it everywhere in his $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and I can't seem to find, any piece of legislation in there that includes $200 per month for people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, railroad retirement. I didn't see anything in there. I did Control F. I did a search. I didn't find anything. So, and I know that $200 a month might not seem like a whole lot of money. Depends on who you are, how much you make, and all this other stuff. But for some people who are on a very low income, $200 is a lot of money. So when you say that $200 is going to be there for those on Social Security, these are a lot of people who are receiving Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. They're in this exact predicament. $200 is a huge deal. So for you to mention it and then it's not in the package, or at least I couldn't find it, and I'm pretty sure anyone who's on Social Security, SSI, SSDI is going to have an issue with that too. So I definitely want to bring that up. I looked through the package. I didn't see a word in there. I mean, we're talking about the hardest hit people during this pandemic. kind of being left out on this bonus that was mentioned, and somehow, it's not in there. So, another reason why, people are calling on the Biden administration, and asking a lot of questions. But, like I said, right now, I'm not seeing anything on this, at least nowhere in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. I don't want to say, Biden said one thing and did something else. I'm just saying I didn't see it in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Maybe it's in a future package. So let's just table that for now, and we'll come back. We'll circle back. But now here's the problem, right? So, you might be thinking, well, why don't they just pass the stimulus bill so that we, the American people, could actually get the relief, intended to help us get through this, through these trying times, right? And, that might sound pretty simple. It's actually really not. So basically, because we're hearing right now, the Democratic senators, they're using their newfound power to push through their own agendas. Now, let me explain this to you guys. So the Senate is currently split up into, 50-50. You got 50 Republicans and you've got 50 Democrats, right? And so, any bill can technically pass through the Senate with only 51 votes. Now, 50 Republicans and 50 Democrats, that's pretty equal, right? I mean, 50-50, right? So, but we also have the tiebreaker, which is Kamala Harris. Now, her vote would be the 51st vote. And technically she could vote, she can vote Democratic, she could vote Republican, but she's a Democrat, right? So obviously she's going to be on the side of the Democrats. But the problem is this, so every Democrat has to vote yes for the bill to pass, right? That's the only way the Democrats actually have power in the Senate, is if they are all voting collectively together in sync. Everybody votes yes on something or everyone votes no on something. Otherwise, there's no power there, right? And so, even if only a few of them voted no, then the no's, which would most likely be primarily from the Republicans, that would absolutely outweigh the yeses. And so the supposedly, tie-breaking vote wouldn't even matter at that point. The fact that Kamala Harris would be the tie-breaking vote wouldn't even matter, right? They have to all be in sync. So that's the power that the Democrats now have, as long as they're in sync with one another. So yeah, even though the American people, are still suffering, Democratic senators are using this as an opportunity to pretty much tell the Biden administration to include their own agendas, their own bills, their own proposals, into this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So, and for us, there's only two things that can happen, right? So first, we get more ideas, we get more proposals, that could, ultimately help the people. And that sounds great, right? But the other thing is that, there's talks, there's more talks, there's more negotiations, there's more back and forth, and it will probably more than likely just simply delay the stimulus discussion. And that's not what we want. We don't need anything else to further, delay the approval and the passing and the depositing of the stimulus checks into the American people's bank accounts, do we, right? Now, some of the agendas that are being considered, as an inclusion into the $1.9 trillion stimulus package are, there's an increase in the Social Security, cost of living adjustments, also known as the COLAs. They want to increase it from 1.3% to 5%. Then there's, and this is huge, 1.3% to 5%, that's a huge bump. And, and then we have the canceled, $50,000 in student loan debt. This is what they want to call the loan forgiveness. And then we have, multiple proposals for $2,000 per month. This is that monthly recurring stimulus check conversation for everyone, So this would include, of course, the filers, the spouses, their children, as well as their, the adult dependents. So, we're also hearing a lot about this retroactive unemployment insurance benefits of $400 per week. So, this will go all the way back to August. So, in August, and the majority of September, we actually got $300 per week. Remember from Trump's executive order that he passed, right? So now, if we take this all the way back to the beginning of August, then we would actually receive an additional $100. So, that's for all of August and most of September. Now, after September, it's now going to be, it's going to be an additional $400 per week. And so that could be very beneficial for those who became unemployed during that time. So, that's very good news for a lot of people. Now, we're also hearing Medicaid for everybody, and that's also huge. This is very likely to happen if Bernie Sanders can get Biden on his side, since he's pretty much the only one that's really pushing this one pretty hard for it to come about. So, that's pretty much what I can tell you guys right now. These are some of the agendas that, that the Democrats want to eventually get stuffed into this package here. But let me just tell you guys right quick, like these proposals, they might sound really good. They sound great and helpful and all that, that's great. But it all comes with a price. There's a cost to make these things happen. And there's a cost in terms of time because of delays and negotiations. And the price that we have to pay for these negotiations could be simply that, that the stimulus checks get delayed because of all the negotiating and the back and forth and oh, I'm not talking to him now and she's not talking, So I'm just saying. All right, now speaking of delays, right? You've got reports that are actually saying that every single day that the United States, is in this pandemic, that we lose about $10 billion. $10 billion. That's a lot of money. And so, that's $70 billion, after a week. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a lot of money, and even larger amount, if we realize that, in a 2-month period of time, that would actually cost us $600 billion in growth, in revenue, right? So, because March is most likely the month that we're actually going to see a package being passed, or possibly that the bill will be passed, we're talking about some big numbers here, and that's a full 60 days. So, in addition to Biden's plan of getting 100 million vaccinations for his first 100 days in the office, that could now mean, a delay of the vaccinations, to 60 million Americans. So, 60 more days, of the bill not getting passed, this could be kind of catastrophic to say the least for the country. Devastating the economy even further, haven't the American people suffered enough from this pandemic? I think we have. I doubt anyone who's watching this video would disagree with me on that one. So, but, with what's happening right now, there is a chance that this could happen. So, what we do know is that Joe Biden is doing his best to deal with this, with whatever power he has right now. He's still not yet the president. I get this a lot. He's not the president yet. He's not the president. I know, guys. I know he's not the president yet, right? So in all probability, we could see where this would, really go once the inauguration is over, and of course, weeks after that. So, and so pretty much that's a wrap, guys. If you made it this far, if you made it up to this point, you owe me a like. You guys owe me a like. Give me my like, right? So go ahead and gently tap the like button, make it turn blue, puts a smile on my face. I really appreciate you guys. And also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you can know as soon as I release new videos and content. Your support definitely helps me out, helps me to create more content like this. And I definitely really appreciate you guys. So, just want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Really means a lot. And lastly, I wanted to remind you guys about Matter's all new YouTube channel. The response has been so positive from you guys. I had no idea you guys were gonna like that channel so much, but that's really, really cool. So I just want you guys to know we're giving away 5 Apple AirPods, brand new, to 5 different subscribers on Matter's new channel. All you have to do to enter the contest is to click the M on your screen, should be right above me. Subscribe to their channel, watch one of their videos, in full, and that's it. That's all you got to do to enter to win a free pair of Apple AirPods. So, good luck to you guys. That's all for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Check out the channel, hit the M, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.